Namaskar, I'm Ashok Vyas, and today it's a beautiful day, not because of the fact that you have enjoyed the whole day doing whatever you were doing, but also the fact that I have a wonderful human being, a beautiful girl, lady, talented actor, model, singer, dancer. And her name is also inspiring, Prerna Wanvari. Welcome to ITV.
Thank you so much.
Prerna, you have a wonderful dress. This outfit also has a story behind it. Let's begin with this.
Oh, this outfit is an anarkali with Kolkata design on the neck. It's a traditional outfit and it's from Kimaya, Bombay, Kimaya, Mumbai, India. And thanks to Mr. Pradeep Hirani, who is the owner of Kimaya. He was really kind to give this outfit to me.
You know, sometimes the way you are dressed, it changes the way you feel or perceive yourself.
Yes.
And this is called anarkali, so does that make you feel a little bit...
like Madhubala, like anarkali?
Yeah.
Of course, it does make me feel very Indian and traditional, and I love Madhubala in Mughal-e-Azam. I loved her. So, yeah, I do feel like Madhubala today.
So this Madhubala, if you are watching Indian television, you must have seen her in serials like Bandini, Parichay, Gumrah. And of course, if you are also avid viewer of the serials wherein you see them dancing, then you saw her in Saroj Khan's Nach Live, and there were some other shows. We'll talk more about them. But before we go towards that side, let's talk about New York itself and the International Emmy Awards. When you hear International Emmy Awards, it's something, the pinnacle of all the creativity that reaches viewers through television in a way. So becoming a part of this International Emmy, how that came about?
The board of the International Academy of Television Arts and Sciences, they were extremely kind to have me over to invite me for the International Emmys 2012. And one of the board members gave my credentials to them, and that is how they got to know of me, and they loved my body of work and they invited me. So it was a lifetime opportunity, and I couldn't have asked for more. This is an amazing start to something maybe that could happen in this industry in New York, in Hollywood, or maybe in international television or crossover television. Whatever. Yeah.
Okay, let's go back to the process of preparing, because you need to familiarize yourself with all that is happening there, and also you are rubbing shoulders with people who are coming from different set of experience, and they have their own names based on their performances. So how was the whole, was there any nervousness? How was
yes, I was nervous. I was extremely nervous in the beginning, but because I love the stage, the moment I went on stage, I enjoyed myself while presenting the award, and I definitely shared with them that how blessed and fortunate I feel to be a part of such talented people, because I also attended the festival on the weekend before the International Emmys held by the same board, and I was so inspired by the work I saw, because the nominees show their work and they discuss, and there's a question answer round where we ask them about how they got to making what they've made and how they've made it so far. They got nominated. So it was wonderful listening to them, and very, very inspiring. Some of the shows I totally fell in love with. One of the, like the Kitchen Musical, which is from Singapore. I also heard the producer and director talk, and he was extremely entertaining. Then I also met Mr. James, James Jr. I forgot his surname, I'm so sorry, but he's the creator of Dexter. And he was also a wonderful human being to talk to, and I'm sure he has a lot of knowledge that we could exchange in time to come, since we've become friends. And also the Portuguese shows seemed interesting. They were pretty similar to Indian television. They were very dramatic, like Indian television, very, very Ekta Kapoor, very Balaji telefilms. So I could relate with that, because one of the girls who was nominated from the Portuguese show, the scene she had, they showed for the nominee clip, as the nominee clip. It was similar to a scene that I have enacted in India, like the spoiled girl who has boyfriends and runs away. So it was nice to see that stories all over the world are the same. It's just that different people are enacting them.
So nice. Stories all over the world are the same. Such profound words coming from Prerna. So they are definitely inspiring. But let's find out from you, Prerna, what inspired you to become a part of this world which has its own ups and downs, excitement?
Two things mainly. I'm very inspired by my parents, my father and my mother. My father used to be a dancer before he became the CEO and a media person and a journalist, CEO of IndianTelevision.com before that. And he used to be a dancer, and my mom used to be an actress for theatre, and she's also done television. And right now she's a script writer. So I fell in love with dance. I was not very confident about acting because I was so glamour struck by the beauty of the actresses. I didn't know whether I could look as glamorous as them. For me, glamour took me obviously into the world of acting and my parents. But slowly I have fallen in love with the art, and therefore I have, when I fell in love with the art, I did workshops with Mona Ambegaonkar, who's also a very big Marathi face for Marathi films. She's supposed to be a fabulous. I've watched her work. She's very talented. She's also done television shows like Ambar Dhara. She played the mother of Ambar Dhara. If people over here watched Ambar Dhara, they would know. And a lot of other popular work. So I went to her for acting workshops, and I've also been to Atul Kumar, who's very big in the theatre scenario in India. At Prithvi Theatre, he does a lot of shows. He's really good. He makes very good plays.
You have so variety of experiences which have been enriching for you, so there's so much to talk to you. So I take you back to the days when you were learning dancing, and then we go to that stage where sure.
Oh yes.
I want to combine two things. So when you are learning and there is something in your mind that you are going to be performing someday, and then you become a part of a television show where the whole appreciation of your dancing talent is with a competitive edge. So how these two things blend?
Well, I only believe in enjoying. Yes, I am competitive, but only with myself. Not really with everyone in that sense, but I do believe in the publicity and the marketing aspect, but I also believe in enjoying everything. So in terms of dance, I started training with Terence Lewis, the choreographer. He's very famous for Dance India Dance. He's a huge judge. He's a huge choreographer in India. So I started dancing with him, and one day he comes up to me and he says, this was back in college, and he comes up to me and he says, Prerna, you don't know it, but you're very attractive. So, he said that to me, and I got so carried away that I decided to follow my dreams and start acting, and obviously I continued training in dance, and eventually Ekta Kapoor from Balaji Telefilms, she gave me my first break, and that is how my acting career started.
What was that project with Balaji?
The name of the show is Bandhani, and I played Kadambari or Akka Kaddu, aka Kaddu, which means pumpkin in Hindi. Yeah.
So the characterization of this Kadambari was quite multi-layered, so to say. So this is a runaway bride, and then there are two husbands.
Oh yeah, she was grey and she was very vulnerable, and she was basically she was without a mother all her life. Her mother died when she was born, and her father was so busy running the village. He was the diamond merchant running his business, that she never got love from her parents as such, the love she wanted. So wherever she found love, she would run away, and that's why she fell in love with this man who was actually not really in love with her and was interested in her father's property, the drama. So I ran away with him, and then my new mother, who's actually younger than me, that's the whole show about. She's a younger girl, but she's my mother, and she's Bandhani. She got me back home. She's this wonderful human being in the show. She got me back home, and then she got me married to the right guy. But then there was more drama to come. Since I'm the spoiled one and the one looking for love, I divorced him because he fought with me. And since I'm
it's kind of difficult to keep a track of all the developments.
Yeah, but she had so many layers and so many. The character graph was great of Kadambari. So in my first show itself, I got so much to perform, but so much to learn at the same time since it was my first show.
Let's talk about learning acting on the job, or maybe improving on your skill of acting.
Yeah.
And television medium, if you were doing it on stage, it would have been a different kind of learning. Do you think television in some way limits your potential, not potential exactly, but your need to learn more about acting because you have certain set frames, etc., or doesn't matter?
No, I don't think so. Nothing can limit you in that sense. It depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for all kinds of roles, it won't limit you. I'll tell you, it's very simple. In theatre, the audience is there, there's a big stage. This is what Rasika Joshi, a very, very popular Maharashtrian actress who passed away recently because of breast cancer, who's also been my inspiration. She told me this. In theatre, it's this is how much is seen of you, this is how much is seen of you. So you have to use this entirely, your body language. In television, it's just this much. Like in the television set, it's just this much. So this is all that you have to use for in acting. And in films, it is this much. It's just this. So this is all that you have to use. So that's the only difference. There's no limiting anyone. But it's always nice to do films, TV and theatre. I like doing new things. That's why I'm also doing theatre nowadays. I'm doing my second play.
We'll come to your theatre again, but going back to the other project, which was quite interesting, Parichay. Tell us more about it.
Parichay, also, I'm playing Sameer Soni's youngest and only sister in the show. And that is also a Balaji Telefilms fiction show. So Sameer Soni is from Big Boss, you know, he's very big after Big Boss. So I'm playing his youngest sister and the spoiled one again, but in a different way. We also have sort of a comedy track in the show, me and my husband and I, since we are Punjabis, and he has this very funny Punjabi accent. And there also she kind of falls, she falls in love with a very young boy, and eventually she gets married to the right one. Yeah, so I had a very, very good character graph even as Raveena Chopra in Parichay.
So playing Raveena Chopra and Kadambari, and not only playing these roles, but also walking that line of glamour with a lot of lights and attention surrounding you, and yet keeping your feet properly grounded. In order to do that, I think the grooming from the parents help, but also the way you expose yourself to literature or various art forms also makes you a wholesome human being. From that point of view, what are your interests in terms of what you love to read, and even for your brushing up your acting skills or maybe the way you speak? Are there some books that has helped you?
Yeah, but I'm not a very avid reader, for which my parents hate me because they love reading. But I do believe a lot in spirituality and a lot in karma and a lot in abundance and prosperity. In terms of art forms, yeah, art forms do interest me a lot. And in terms of acting, I think Mona Ambegaonkar is a very good teacher for acting. So I'm going to continue doing acting workshops with her, and I think Atul Kumar as well. What else? In terms of reading for language, yes, I do breathing exercises and meditation so that you can use your voice from the stomach, and also the phonetics for pronunciation. I do read books on that. I do read by Daniel Jones, if I'm not mistaken. I'm very bad with names. I'm very bad. I'm sorry if I'm offending someone. Yes, I know. Ashok ji, of course, I know.
I wanted to especially talk about importance of language as far as television media, and when we are talking about भारत, तो भारत में ज़्यादातर कार्यक्रम हिंदी में प्रस्तुत किए जाते हैं, पर जब भी हम कलाकारों को इवन भारतीय टेलीविजन पर भी बात करते सुनते हैं तो सब अंग्रेजी में बात कर रहे होते हैं ज़्यादा करके। तो बम्बई में आपको क्या लगता है, ऐसा वातावरण है कि अंग्रेजी में बात ना करें तो आप की स्थिति अलग रहती है, या लोग आपस में हिंदी में कम बात करते हैं, ऐसा वहाँ भी लगता है या सिर्फ टीवी
नहीं,
पर?
सब तरह के लोग होते हैं जो हिंदी में भी बात करते हैं और जो अंग्रेजी में भी बात करते हैं, जैसी उनकी सोच होती है। मैं दोनों तरह के लोगों से मिली हूँ।
बिल्कुल। नहीं, प्रश्न खास इसलिए था क्योंकि भाषा का भी निश्चित रूप से उसकी अब भूमिका है। जब आप कोई कार्य हिंदी में कर रहे हैं तो
ज़रूरी है कि हिंदी में बात करना। जैसे मैं अब 3 महीनों से उर्दू सीख रही हूँ, मुझे लिखना और पढ़ना आता है उर्दू, ऑलमोस्ट। धीरे पढ़ती हूँ पर मैं सीख रही हूँ, और मैं वो अपनी डिक्शन इम्प्रूव करने के लिए भी अब उर्दू सीख रही हूँ उससे।
आपको 11 बार मुगले आजम देखनी चाहिए।
यस, क्योंकि वो 11 साल तक शूट हुई थी, वो 11 बार देखूं।
नहीं, उर्दू के दृष्टि से वो काफी
हाँ, मैंने देखी है, मैंने थिएटर में देखी रिसेंटली जब वो कलर में निकली थी।
जी,
तो मेरी मम्मी लेकर गई थी मुझे।
आपकी फेवरेट फिल्म कौन सी है?
मेरी फेवरेट फिल्म, आई डोंट नो व्हाई बट हम तुम केम टू माई माइंड, रानी मुखर्जी एंड सैफ अली खान। दैट इज़ अ वेरी, वो बहुत कंटेम्प्रेरी फिल्म है। और हाँ, मुझे उमराव जान बहुत अच्छी लगती है। रेखा एक्चुअली इंस्पायर्ड मी टू बी अ डांसर। हर सॉन्ग इन आँखों की मस्ती में has been my inspiration, and Rekha in Umrao Jaan has been my inspiration. I'm sure there are fabulous actors like Shabana Azmi also is my inspiration, but Rekha has glamour and talent and oomph and everything that I would want in me.
Wonderful. Looks like what you want is coming to you gradually, slowly.
Yeah.
And you were talking about your relationship with films, and what was the reference when I said let's restrict to television?
What I meant is that I'm very open to doing films and TV and theatre, all three of them. I love acting. Films, obviously, I would love to do mainly.
So back to the current trend in terms of the heroines that we have, your favorite and any
Yes.
specific role that you felt was performed well?
I think Priyanka Chopra is one of my favorites. She's aggressive and she's passionate and she's hardworking and she's very intelligent. She's my inspiration. And yeah, I think Priyanka Chopra is my biggest inspiration. I like Kangana Ranaut also, and I think she's going to go really far.
The television, the way it has evolved in India, it's mind-boggling. There's so many channels, and the chances that one may get lost are gradually increasing.
Yes, they are. But that's wonderful. It's creating job opportunities for so many people, and in India there are so many people. So it's good for India.
As a model, earlier you were saying that you felt that you are not as glamorous, and then this gentleman, Terence
Lewis.
Yeah, he said that you are very attractive. You don't know.
Yeah, I didn't feel that I was not glamorous. I just felt I was not very good looking. That has a lot to do with self-esteem and everything. But then I've come a long way. I don't think like that anymore.
Yeah, any tips that you would like to share with maybe other girls who are watching you and they have similar feelings?
Yes, definitely. I would love to tell them that nobody can stop you. The only person who can stop you is you. That's it. So go for it, follow your dreams, and you have to pay the price and you have to be patient. But if you have the bandwidth and the courage to follow your dreams, don't ever lose it.
So talking about looks, now we go to the character of Simran you played in Gumrah.
Oh yes, that was my favorite character because she was this young, funky, she was like Pooh of Kabhi Khushi Kabhi Gum, Kareena Kapoor, who's very, has this attitude and very, very stylish, and has several men running after her. So I got to play that sort of a very my age kind of a character. Because Kadambari and Ravina have taken leaps and they've turned 52 and 40, and at the age of 19 for me it was like wow. So I got to play something that was of my age, which is Simran's character. She's like this bad, evil person, and she's a fanatic for good looks. She has to have a boyfriend who's very good looking and is the best in college, and she's like this best good looking hot babe.
So it's fun playing that?
Oh, it was so much fun because I got to do this funky makeup and look glamorous and hair and short dresses and all that. I loved it. A change.
Let's talk briefly about the theatre projects, that Wake Up Call and The Pregnant King, that you are associated with.
Wake Up Call was my first play. It is sort of a street play but performed in theatres, and it has a social message. It is about bomb blasts that take place and how it affects people and how people can lose courage and commit suicide and can't accept what has happened. Yes, what happens is terrible, but we have to deal with it and we have to move on because we've been given the opportunity of life, and life is beautiful. So that is what that play was about, and I played this very colourful jewelry seller on the station, Marathi girl who's smitten by Bollywood and is, I was like the comedy aspect of the play, and I got a very, very warm response from the audience. They loved me and I was so happy. So I fell in love with theatre after that. And then my second play, which is The Pregnant King, it is by an Indian author. Again, I've forgotten the name, but it is a play about a king who cannot have a child, a son. Therefore, he marries more women, but I'm his first wife, first queen. And he doesn't really want to marry women because he's so much in love with me, so we're really in love with each other. Eventually, he becomes pregnant. And he bores a child. So how a man comes to understand what a woman is actually capable of, which is nurturing, which is creating, so it's about how why women are what they are.
A very interesting story, and the interesting thing is to see how we grow and how we explore the potential that is there in us, as well as the opportunities that come our way. And recently, Prerna Wanvari has come to New York to be on the stage of presenting the International Emmy Awards with all this background of important television serials. Going back to this experience of Emmy International, what it has taught you?
It has taught me that there is much more that I should do in life after seeing the kind of content people make all over the world and how they make it. It's the way they do it that's different. So it has opened my horizons. I have seen so much more and I've met so many people. I feel more people friendly after meeting people from all over the world. Otherwise, if you're in your own country, you do get limited and restricted in that sense. You won't be easily friendly with people all over the world. So I've learned a lot, and I love wearing the gown that I wore for the International Emmys. It's being talked about everywhere. I mean, this has never happened to my senior actors who I love, like Aishwarya Rai and Sonam Kapoor and Deepika Padukone, who've been at the festival and have been in Hollywood films. I mean, Aishwarya Rai has been, but somehow she never made it to the top 10 dressed or the best dressed. And I was so surprised because I made it to the top 10 dressed. I was the 7th best dressed at the event, and my gown was appreciated, and they said I looked wonderful, and they floored me with so many compliments. They said I was the most beautiful girl that day at the event, and and everyone else has rated me online the best dressed and among the best dressed. So that's amazing. That's amazing. You know, it's amazing.
So we just want to conclude. Just want to ask you about your impressions, and do you see yourself following the footsteps of Frida Pinto in some way?
I will have my own footsteps, but definitely I'm extremely proud of what Frida Pinto has achieved. She used to live in Malad, very close to my house. I live in Andheri. So I'm very, very proud of what she's achieved, and she has her own graph. I will have my own career graph. But yes, she does inspire me to do a lot in life.
Wonderful. And so Prerna, her name itself means inspiration.
Yes.
Wanvari, with us. Pleasure knowing more about your experiences and all the dreams that are there. And there is this kind of energy to embrace the world with passion and with creativity that she brings with lots of good wishes and congratulations.
Thank you so much, Ashok ji.
This is Ashok Vyas, thanking all of you for being with us.